And beautiful beings. And I hope you guys are all having a good day. It is the full moon today. It is the full hunter moon, is basically what it's called. And wow, it's been intense. It's been super crazy. I know for a lot of Canadians, it's Thanksgiving today, so happy Thanksgiving, even though it's a pretty brutal holiday where a lot of Indigenous people suffered. So but it is a good day to spend with family and to kind of connect with the ones that you love. So I wanted to talk about the full moon because it's really intense. It's affected everyone, and this entire week has been a very strange vibration. You know, hey, Bo Nielsen, hello, hello, undercover lesbian. I think that's a hilarious name. Um, so yeah, so it's been a really strange week. It's been really intense energy. Has anyone else been feeling really like weird vibrations, low vibrations, really exhausted sort of energy? There's been a lot going on. The Schumann resonance this week has been a very low, low being maybe 10 to 14. And then yesterday, the Schumann resonance spiked up. It went all the way to 59. I believe it's still kind of at 59. Lots of challenges, lots of past lifetimes coming up, lots of old energy, lots of really restless energy, just ups and downs, ego challenges. There's been just a lot of things happening this week, building up to this full moon. Myself personally, I always get very like I had that psychic attack that happened last weekend, which was really intense. And then on Thursday, I had some like dentist work, I guess, done. And I couldn't speak for pretty much the entire day. And so that was a bit of an ego death for me because obviously speaking is it's my identity. It's my go-to. I mean, I am a teacher. Without speaking, what do I have? So that was a little bit interesting for me. And then last night, the wildest thing happened, which is this neighbor of ours basically like pounded on the door, like I don't know, 9 or 10 p.m., 9 p.m., and was like yelling at my girlfriend for not for not returning his screwdriver. Okay, so she borrowed a screwdriver, um, and anyway, and so that she did return it. He lives like literally right across the hall from us, and she literally put the screwdriver by his door, his doorway, whatever, right? And so she returns the screwdriver, um, but yeah, but I guess like because it wasn't in his hand, now turns out that screwdriver was actually his deceased father's screwdriver. Maybe he was some sort of like handyman or mechanic, but he really wanted that screwdriver back. And apparently he didn't find it by his door, although he does have a roommate. So the roommate could have picked it up, but he was yelling, like yelling at the top of his lungs, like very aggressive, very violent kind of energy that he had last night. And when I was taking a look and feeling the energy of this full moon, the energy, and it's the hunter moon as well, it's the energy in Aries. I'm not an astrologist, I'm not a numerologist. You guys know this. That's totally not my thing. I really couldn't care less, but sometimes, it's helpful to know. And anyway, and so yeah, so this full moon is the energy in Aries, fire sign, and a lot of like anger, aggression, old energy is all coming up at this time during this full moon. So I took a look at the energy behind that situation with the screwdriver because it's so odd. I mean, there's so many things that could or could not have happened to kind of lead up to that very moment last night. And it turns out this was a major repeated pattern from my girlfriend. And it went down to a past lifetime. It's really interesting. Past life where she took over, she was a male in that lifetime. She took over the farm from her father. And upon taking over the farm from her father at the age of around 16 years old, my girlfriend borrowed, this is a past life, she borrowed a bull, okay, to mow the fields. Like there's this huge, like heavy metal machine. It had three big prongs on it, and you attach the metal equipment to the bull, and the bull pulls it, and it I guess aerates the fields, getting it ready for the planting of the seeds. Okay, so the bull, like bulls back then were very expensive. Her family couldn't afford it, so she borrows her neighbor's bull, and she's, prepping the fields for her dad because her dad was very ill at the time. Turns out this is the exact same neighbor that she borrowed the bull from, that she borrowed the screwdriver from in this lifetime. And then the neighbor told her very specific instructions to bring the bull back into the bull pen. Okay, it was like this wooden fence, and to tie the rope of the bull to the fence, even though the fence was enclosed, very specifically to tie. And he even showed her how to tie the bull back to the fence. So when she was done with the fields, she was so excited that she was done. She so badly wanted to show her dad what she had done. She was very, very proud of herself. So she throws the bull in the pen and she closes the door of the pen, and she does not tie the bull to the fence. She goes over to her dad, very excited. Well, the next day, the neighbor's like, "Oh, where did the bull go? Like, did he stay at your place, overnight? Like, can you just bring him back?" And she says, "No, I brought him back. I put him in the pen yesterday." And he's like, "Oh, did you tie him to the fence like I told you to?" And she said, "Oh, no, I must have missed that step, but I closed the pen door." And he says, the door is broken and he's going to get out. And now he could be anywhere, and a bull back then was about a year's worth of wages. And for a little farm boy who literally had no money and they were already strapped for cash, you know, and so in her mind, in that past lifetime, it wasn't her fault. Oh, she put the bull back, it's like whatever, and she never apologized for that. And then when her father passed away, she suffered on that farm because none of her neighbors would ever let her borrow anything because she wasn't fully responsible, and she basically, she wasn't really fully responsible and very aloof. Same sort of thing. Then her neighbor in this lifetime, she borrowed a screwdriver. Screwdriver turns out to be his deceased father's screwdriver. And he wrote her a note saying, specifically make sure that you either hand the screwdriver back to me or my roommate. And she didn't. She put it by his doorstep, and now it's gone. So it's crazy, guys, how clearly these past lifetimes are coming back. So I want to ask all of you, has there been any really like intense or crazy or wild moments that have happened with you in the past week? As far as like, people yelling at you, or like random things happening on the street, or like things with friends or family members, like any weird kind of explosive moments, angry moments, and energetic moments. Because all of this stuff is coming back. Okay, so we've got a lot of yeses here. With your friends, yeah, absolutely. So we're going to see this happen a lot, especially around the energy of this full moon. So please like buckle down, but this is also a really prime time to set your intentions. I've also found personally, I've been hyper aware of my thoughts, where those thoughts are coming from, whether those thoughts are mine, whether I'm picking up those thoughts from someone else, whether I'm channeling information. I've also been very, very, very hyper aware of repeating old patterns and cycles. So ultimately, I'll check in with myself. Hey, Scratch. Ultimately, I'll check in with myself to say, hey, are you doing this through obligation? Are you doing this because you want to do this? Or, are you doing this for some other reason? So I've been very also aware of these repeated patterns and the choices that I'm making. And this is what we're all really being pushed to do at this time, is be aware of the choices that you're making. Okay? No longer can we live life with no responsibility. We need to start taking responsibility over everything, whether it feels like it's something that happens to you, whether you feel like the world is collapsing, whether you feel like, someone stole something from you and it's their fault. It's not. You created that experience. You could be, drinking your coffee in the morning and then your coffee cup, drops and breaks. Okay, that's not just a coincidence. You created that for a reason. Maybe you had an attachment around the mug. Maybe someone with bad energy gave it to you, or what have you. P.S. This is my favorite mug. And then that's little Grayson over there. He says hi. Um, Yeah, okay, Kate, you're right on track with the responsibility part. We have to start taking responsibility. We can no longer be aloof. We can no longer pretend that it's just not our fault. We can no longer be the victim, guys. You cannot be the victim. If you continue to play this victim game, then your life will continue to spiral seemingly out of your control. The more you realize that, yeah, my mom was really aggressive to me this morning, and I don't know why, but I must have attracted that. There's something there that I can change. What am I learning? Why are you attracting that in your life? What are you learning? What can you take from that? And how can you move on? Right? It's no longer this, oh, things are happening to me. They're not. You're happening to life. And the more that you play that victim role, the more you give your power away to the reality around you. You give your power away to your friends, to your boss, to your work, to your family, to your dog, whatever it is. But we can't keep doing that anymore. It's time for us to stand in our power and realize that we are creating our reality and no one else is responsible for that. And the second you do that, you can actually change, and I call it transmute. You can start transmuting all of the aspects of your life that are not fully aligned to you to say, okay, cool. Well, that was really shitty. But if I created the fact that my car just broke down, why did I create it? What is the lesson that I'm learning? And how do I move forward so that I don't have to learn that lesson again? Right. And so, I was kind of upset with my girlfriend last night because she was like so in this aloof, like, but I returned it, but I returned it. It's not my fault. It's his fault. I can't believe he yelled at me, blah, 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 victim, victim, victim. And I can no longer play people's games. Like, in a sense, I can kind of conform myself to the mainstream and play maybe a bigger game in that way. But especially when it comes down to someone that I'm dating or a friend of mine, I'm no longer going to say, yeah, sure, you're right. I'm going to say, I simply don't resonate with that. And if you are open to hearing my opinion or perspective on that, then I would love to share it. But I'm also not pushing that opinion or perspective on anyone. It's up to you to understand what is in harmony and what is in alignment and what is not. Um, okay, fantastic. So, full moon, super intense energy. I know it's like Thanksgiving for some of you in Canada. I highly recommend that today is the day that you transmute the things that are no longer serving you. So, if you guys have a piece of paper and a pen, highly recommend that you write a list down of everything that you do. Everything that could be a habit pattern, could be a belief system, could be an emotion, a reaction, an attachment, okay? Something that's repeating. So I want you to write down everything that you do that doesn't feel in alignment. I don't really, I don't really resonate with my job anymore. That's fine. Um, oh, like I drink way too much coffee. Okay, so it doesn't resonate with you. Oh, I really have to get back to the gym. Okay. Oh, like I keep talking to my mom and I keep feeling drained afterwards. Okay. So the biggest thing, because a lot of people are like, how do I know that it doesn't resonate? The biggest thing is if you're feeling drained, if you feel tired, if you feel, a lack of connection, the biggest thing is lack of excitement. If you're not excited about every little thing that you do, I mean, I get excited over the freaking color of pen that I choose in my life, right? I mean, that's the level of excitement that you should have for every choice that you're making. And if you do not have excitement for every choice that you're making in your life, then you're giving your power away and you're making choices through obligation and you're not making choices through authentic, harmonic resonance and excitement. It is simply as easy as that. So I want you to write a list down of every aspect of your life that isn't serving you. And I want you to write down on the opposite side of the page how you can transmute that to be in more harmonic resonance. And just be aware that the choice that you make to transmute that thing in the moment doesn't necessarily need to be the choice that you make for the rest of your life based on that thing. I'll give you a good example. Okay. Say, for example, your mom, right? Your parents, a family member, a friend really isn't in alignment with you anymore. And every time you talk to them, you feel drained and exhausted and apathetic and whatever, right? You notice that you're like, I don't really resonate with that person anymore. And especially with family, it's hard to get away from. So you write down, say, for example, your mom on a piece of paper. And you're like, okay, cool. I don't resonate with my mom anymore. So how do you transmute the energy of non-resonation? Maybe you have to cut the cords. Maybe you have to create some healthy boundaries and some distance between you and that person. Once again, doesn't mean that you have to create that distance and that separation, that healthy boundary for the rest of your life. But it's important that we take structured steps. We can call them linear third dimension steps. Okay. It's important that we take structured linear third dimension steps at this time in our life to transmute the things that don't serve us. I could tell you all day, oh, just choose love, just choose light, just be up here all the time. That's fantastic, but that's never giving you an actual specific thing that you can do. We're still living in the third dimension density for now anyway, which means that we've got to tackle third dimension density with third dimension density. We can't tackle issues in a low vibration with a high vibration. Oh, it's great, just be happy. Fuck that. No, you can't just be happy for everything, because what happens when you choose love and light and rainbows and butterflies all the time is you're sweeping all the shit, all of the reaction, all of the disharmony, you're sweeping it under the rug and you're not actually dealing with it. By being grounded, by being present, by being in your body, you have a structured mechanism, you have a structured flow, you have a direction to go into in order to transmute it. So we have to kind of be thinking in those terms right now at this time, so that we don't just sweep it under the rug and have to repeat it over and over and over again. Okay, it's really important that we're transmuting things, but we're doing it in a very graceful manner rather than one extreme to the other. Super important, guys. Okay, which just it can be love and light all the time, but it can't be, because we are still living in a physical body, and we're still going to experience things like health complications, financial complications, drama, politics with family and friends. Okay, we can't just abandon the fact that we live in a fucking binary world. We can't just ignore that fact. I mean, we live here and we have to be here. And so with the full moon, I want you guys to choose one reality for yourselves today. Okay. Hopefully you guys have some time. It's what, a Sunday? So I want you to choose one reality for yourselves. One half of the reality is, if you feel reactionary, if you feel stubborn, if you feel held back, if you feel lack in any way, if you feel the attachment, if you feel resentment, if you feel these things in any way, then today you need to seriously focus on transmuting the fear, transmuting the obligation, transmuting the third dimension into something that is more sustainable. That's the word. It's sustainable. Okay, low vibrational frequencies and the reaction to those low vibrations is not going to get you anywhere. That's not a sustainable way to exist or live at all. Okay, so it's got to be the transmuting. So if you're finding yourself held back and reactionary, please focus on that. Now, likewise, if you're finding yourself, at a pretty good place and everything's kind of going in the right direction and you're feeling like opportunities are opening up, fantastic. Then I want you to utilize this energy for today to really set in motion intentions that you want to create and manifest for the future. Okay, this is a fantastic day to do one or the other, but please, we're not totally in the fifth dimension yet, which means I don't want you to focus on the fear and what you want. Okay, you're just going to muddle both of them, and you're not actually going to fully focus on one or the other. Okay. Okay, so let's see here. Cami, what if you feel like there's elder abuse going on and you can't stand and just let it happen? Feel like somebody needs to have a voice. Okay, for people who can't help themselves. This is a really great question. So this could be anything. This could be, domestic abuse from a neighbor that you're overhearing all the time. It could be elder abuse that you're aware of that no one's kind of standing up for. So what I want to mention, and this comes down to the law of non-intervention. Ultimately, that child who is getting abused, the starving children in Africa, the neighbor that's going through domestic abuse, the elder that you know of that's going through elder abuse, get all of these situations where people feel helpless. In those situations, it's important for you to do, it really depends, right? It doesn't have to be intervention all the time. Ultimately, we need to realize that the people who are in those situations have, the people who are in those situations have ultimately chosen that path for themselves. And that's in alignment with the contracts that they're completing. Just like my girlfriend, it's a very tough situation that she went through last night. And I wasn't about to step in and give her all of my perspective and help her with something that maybe she didn't even think she needed help with. Okay. So the biggest thing is understanding that they're living through their contracts, whether they seem helpless or unaware or unconscious of what's going on or not. They've signed up for that because there's some sort of karmic conclusion there. So in knowing and understanding that, that's important. Okay. But likewise, you might be a part of that contract. There is abuse and situations happening all around us all the time that we can step into at all times, but it's not necessarily important for us to step into at all times. If something comes into your reality that you become aware of and you have a strong motivational pull to do something about that, most likely your karmic path is colliding with their karmic path. And in that case, okay, it's kind of convoluted, but in that case, it's important for you to step up. How do you step up? You give that person as much as you can give them without draining yourself, and then saying that they have everything that they need. So say, for example, with the elder abuse, call up the facility, say, this is going on. If the facility won't bother with it, call up the person ahead, do everything in your power that you can do, and then let it go. The thing is, the problem is that we get stuck with all the time is we try and help someone with karmic lessons. We try and help someone in general in life, and we get so sucked in, we get so wrapped in, we end up creating more karma then we're completing by getting wrapped up in that, by attaching ourselves to that. Does that make sense? Right? Don't create more karma than you need to. Okay. Do what you can because that situation came into your reality for a reason. You created that too. So do what you can, but don't attach yourself to the outcome. Okay. Like I always say to couples, and this is good because it's coming up for a reason. I always say, so if you're in a marriage and the marriage has been going on for 15 years, 25 years, but for the past 5 years, it's been absolutely dreadful and really awful. This is what I say to the wife, right? Or the husband, it depends. Usually it's the wife. I say, um, have you really tried? So like you say that this is the relationship and you're stuck here and you really want adventure, you really want tantra, you really want a conscious connection, you really want more travel, but you know that you're not going to get it from the partner. Yeah, but are you basing the fact that you're not going to get it from your partner from 15 years ago and who they were back then? Or are you really truly understanding who that person is today? Sorry, I'm just looking at the time. Okay. Or are you really truly understanding who that person is today and just saying, nope, not going to happen, right? So what I always tell this person is before you cut the cords with that job, before you fully cut the cords with that partner, and in a sense, the most important thing is we don't run away from something that isn't serving us before completing it. If we run away from something that isn't serving us before completing it, then the problem that happens is we create further karma with that, and it's going to come up in a year from now. It's going to come up in 3 months from now. It's going to come up in 3 lifetimes from now. Okay. Oh, hey, Trisha, what's going on? And so it's really important that in cutting the cords with someone, something, a job, an experience, a belief system, you fully try as much as you can to transmute that situation before you cut the situation off in your life. So say, for example, with your partner, your husband, your wife, it's not really aligned and you're feeling like you just want to get out of there. You just want to run. I always ask my clients, I'm like, have you really tried? Have you really tried to change things? I try and talk to him. It doesn't work. I'm like, okay, cool. So what I want all of you to do, this is really important, guys. If you want to change a big foundational aspect of your life, say your job, your partner, your living situation, your financial situation, or what have you, I want you to write down exactly what that situation is right now in the moment. Okay. And you can do this on your own free time. Write down what that situation is right now in the moment. Okay. And then write down exactly how you want that relationship, that job, that financial situation, that living situation to be in the future. Okay. In the future, but you're bringing it into the present moment. So what is the ideal, most ideal, if you possibly think of, situation that could transmute into? Okay. Now ask yourself, obviously those two things don't align. So the first step is trying everything in your power to bring that vibration into the current situation to transmute it. Just by walking away from a third dimensional energy, it's a problem because that third dimensional energy is just going to come back over and over and over again until you complete it. So you need to bring it up, transmute it by actually trying. Okay. Um, Super important. So, what I recommend, so for a relationship, it's like if you want more travel, if you want more adventure, if you want more consciousness, if you want more tantra, then sit your partner down and say, I'm about to meditate. I'm about to do tantra meditation. Do you want to join me? And if he's like, no, cool, I'm going to do it myself. Same thing with your job, right? Hey, is can I do some extra work on this project because I really want to get promoted, right? If you want that, but you've never asked for it, if you've never said it, if you've never strived for it, if you've never taken action on it, then you're literally sticking yourself to the present moment here, and you're not even trying to ascend to that next vibrational level. Okay, you have to take the action steps in your current reality. The first step to transmute things is to accept what you currently have. If you resent or resist what you currently have and you push it out of your reality, then you're simply allowing that to come back at some point because you're not completing the energy of that thing. Okay? So you have to actually accept what you currently have and then say, how do I transmute this to what I really want? Okay. And I am hopping into another session. Couple of things, guys. I'm so sorry I didn't do the Tai Chi video on Saturday. I don't know what happened. I think yesterday was just a crazy busy day, like 6 sessions back to back. So it's been insane. I'm gearing up for traveling. I'm also recording a Gaia TV show, not TV show, TV episode. I'm going to be on interviews with Ed, interviews with Extra Dimensionals with Ruben Langdon. He's incredible. I'm so excited about it. We're going to be filming in Malibu tomorrow and the next day, which means, so sorry, not sorry, I will not be on live at 5:55 tomorrow, but I'm hoping that maybe I can jump on. I have so much to say, so many realizations, so many downloads coming to me this past week. I'm hoping that maybe tomorrow at an off time, I'm going to hop on YouTube and do a little live video before my interviews, before the interview and the filming. So that episode should be coming out sometime in 2020. I'll definitely let you guys know when that's going to be coming out on the Gaia Network, Gaia TV. And then what else did I want to say? So I'm also traveling. I'm going to be going to Venice and then Greece, doing a Greek island cruise with my girlfriend. Should be really fun. And honestly, I am so excited for a vacation. I've been really just putting in a lot of hours into work, but really it's just awakening. So I don't really consider it work, but it's still been a lot of hours and it's been very taxing and very draining on me. So I'm very excited for this 2-week vacation. And so I will basically, once again, I will not have Tai Chi videos in the morning. I will not have live at 5:55 every Monday for the next probably 2 weeks. And then the week that I get back at the end of October, beginning of November, I'm off to Colorado for the Star Knowledge Conference. By the way, guys, if you're in Colorado, if you want to travel to Colorado and come to this beautiful Rocky Mountain Park, please check out. I think I posted it in the community section, or I posted it in my Facebook. Okay, it's called the Star Knowledge Conference in Colorado. I'll be speaking there, giving an incredible lecture about our hybrid DNA and how to unlock that. So it's going to be really mind blowing. So I'll be traveling from the 19th of October to the 30th of October, and then I'm at the conference in Colorado between the 7th and the 11th of November, 11/11, super powerful time. So I'm going to be hopping on random live videos just like this to kind of keep you guys in flow and updated, but a couple of cool things. I've got an incredible, like really mind-blowing interview that I just did on Friday with Trisha Carr. I don't know if you guys know her channel, but definitely check it out if you haven't already. Trisha Carr, you should pretty much be able to find her, Carr, on YouTube. So check her out. I'm going to be uploading and scheduling videos as well as the second and third part of the video of the interview that I posted on Friday. Okay, so every Friday I'm posting that interview, and then in between the week, I'm going to be posting crystal videos, and I'm going to be posting more videos and this really cool interview that I had with Trisha Carr, going through my past lifetime experiences, as well as going through my interdimensional experiences. That being said, I've got to head out, but I love you guys so much. Have a beautiful full moon. Please pull some tarot cards, set some intentions, clear all of that shit that doesn't serve you. Don't abandon it, clear it, transmute it. I'm so proud of each and every one of you. Keep up the good work, and hopefully I will see you in Greece. I will do a little live video from the cruise ship. I'm kind of freaked out about cruises because like it's like you're stuck on a boat with a bunch of other people. Not really my thing, but it's going to be really good, really relaxing. That's my intention. Anyway, guys, love you guys so much. Have a beautiful rest of your day and rest of your full moon. Bye. Grayson says bye.